The classic architecture of the members' stand at the Sydney Cricket Ground has for more than a century stood silent witness over the performances of some of the greatest cricketers in the game. The champions have all exhibited their skills in this wonderful arena. In this programme, we'll relive some of these moments and more with many of the players who have left an indelible mark on the game over the past few decades. They are the modern masters. Their names are synonymous with outstanding cricket. Lillee, Hadley, Chappell, Richards, the War brothers, Warne, Botham and Walters. In this video, we'll revisit some of these moments that have made them so great. We begin our journey through the modern cricket archives with a man known as the Master Blaster. Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards was the most awe-inspiring batsman of the 80s, scoring more than 8,500 runs. He still holds the record for the fastest Test century, scored in just 56 balls.
Well, I remember the first time I ever came across Viv, and obviously I didn't know, the name was just up on the scoreboard, Richards. I didn't know who the hell Viv Richards was.
And Richards has dispatched that with all the authority which we've seen from him this season. It's a magnificent hit. It wasn't quite there, but who cares?
Oh dear, what a magnificent shot.
He came in, bang, straight away, over mid-off, bang, over mid-on. 4-4s on the trot off Jeff Hammond, who was a very accurate bowler and a very good fast bowler. And he just kept banging him straight down the ground in the air, you see. Fifth one, he's tried to do it again, nicked it, caught by Rodney Marsh, and Viv Richards on his way, you see. So we're all gathered around. Well done, Bomber, you know, you got this guy out. And Bomber just looked, he said, yeah, he said, nobody can keep bloody doing that. And nobody can just keep hitting a fast bowler back over his head. Well, you know, I saw Viv continue to do it for many, many years.
I believe in myself. There's a lot of people who sometimes saw the way I swaggered to the crease or whatever, would think that I'm the cockiest so-and-so in the world, or the most arrogant so-and-so in the world. But I had no regrets about that. I wanted to be best. It's not just the way you walk, but what was in my heart. You know, I just felt totally confident. I had no fear about a particular bowler, whether he was going to knock my head off or anything. It was something that I said, if I die out there, die. I believed in that because of how passionate I felt to my sport. You know, I don't think many people do feel the way I do.
Viv Richards has gone on to 83. Murray Bennett is the bowler, and your commentators Tony Greig and Bill Laurie.
Oh, what a shot. Oh, what a start by Vivian Richards. Bennett just on a good length. Got to the half bar and rocked with the ball. Safe as a church. Out to long on. And my word, that was beautifully timed.
I begrudgingly, used to enjoy watching him bat. There's no question he had something special. Just even when he walked through the gate, coming out on the field, the game changed. Had a different feel to the way the game was progressing. He had an aura and a presence and a swagger when he came out to the crease.
Short ball straight away, and Richards confidently smashes it to the boundary. Oh, is he looking dangerous?
Yeah, Viv, probably the most dangerous batsman that I saw. I mean, there were plenty of pretty dangerous batsmen that I played with and against. But he was the sort of bloke that could turn a test match on his own in a very short space of time.
The spinner's just a little loose early on. Another full toss by Matthews. And that's beaten the mid-off, and there's no way in the world that's not going to be 4. He moves on to 97.
He was an explosive player, and I mean, half an hour of Viv could destroy a game of cricket for you. And then, as a one-day player, his fielding and his strength, I mean, unbelievable.
And Richards obliges by going over the top for 4.
he just came out confrontational. I mean, he came out to let you, as he walked out to bat, he let you know, right, the game is on. You know, I'm coming for you, so you better give me the best you've got. And it didn't matter who the bowler was. Dennis Lilly, Jeff Thompson, it didn't matter. And I mean, he took them on.
And that's into the seats, well into the seats.
I think there's probably only one that I rate higher in world standing, and that was the Garfield Sobers than Viv Richards. Viv, on his day, could do what no other batsman I've seen could do. He just destroyed very good bowling.
He's hammered that. Joel Garner had to just move out of the way very quickly. And
But he's still found a gap, and he's going to get a boundary, I would say. Once that gets on the practice wickets, it'll absolutely race away.
Here it goes, down over the sideboard. It's a beauty. 6 by a mile. That was always on, and Greg Matthews appreciates that. It was a great stroke. It wasn't a slog. He put the foot down. The follow-through was there. His third 6, and what a massive hit. And there it is. Tremendous applause, a standing ovation for the great player. A great moment for Vivian Richards.
Starting the day on 82 not out. He's now taken his total to 200.
Viv Richards was awesome. I mean, I would really pity being Dennis Lilly or Jeff Thompson playing when Viv Richards was in full flight. I suppose I was lucky enough to come in towards the end of his career, and still he was a fantastic player then. And that knock of 146 was just unbelievable. The quicker you bowled, the further he seemed to hit you. He just had no fear.
Gone down too long.
West Indies in that time, their top 4 was terrific with Greenwich, Haynes, Richie Richardson. At that time was in pretty good form, and Viv Richards. And there was really no encouragement to get a couple of wickets to get Viv Richards out there.
Well, there's no struggling there. He really put that away very well indeed.
We worked out during World Series cricket that he was such a good leg side player that bowling off stump to him, which you'd do to most batsmen, was like bowling leg stump to anyone else, because he tended to come across to off stump and then hit everything through the leg side. So we decided that far outside off stump was the best place to bowl. That was more like off stump to him. And we had a lot of success for a few games, 2 or 3 games. We had him caught behind, caught in the slips. And we concentrated for the rest of that season on his off stump. Biggest mistake we ever made, because we then turned him into not only being the best leg side player in the world, he became one of the best offside players as well. So we just doubled his repertoire.
And he's lifted that over the top of long off, and that's a big hit. That's a huge hit for 6 by Richards. That is a magnificent stroke.
Yeah, my recollections are his duels with Steve Waugh. In my era, it was still Steve Waugh. We'd seen Dennis Lilly take it to him, and him take it to Dennis Lilly and Tomo. But so Steve Waugh was the one that was keen just to bounce him. Of course, he didn't wear the helmet or anything. Stephen knocked the hat off a couple of times, and Viv responded with the swagger and dusted off the cap, put him back on, and sort of said, next time you do that, I'm going to lose it. And so Stephen loved that sort of duel. So it was always tit for tat, Steve Waugh and Viv Richards. The confidence of the man, the way he could come out and decimate any attack, and it was at the end of his career. I'm pretty glad that I didn't get him at his peak.
4 more for Richards, and that's his victory.
That particular game, we had to talk about playing against the West Indies and being intimidated by them, and most of it was directed at the batsmen, not being intimidated by their 4 quick bowlers at the time. But I just found it intimidating to bowl to their top 4. They were fantastic players, and their records would state that. But to get out there and have Viv Richards come in when they were already established on a pretty good wicket, it was just awesome. And no matter what you did, he just seemed to take you on, and you thought you were a bit of a chance, so you bowl sort of straight at him, and that's where his strengths are on the leg side. So yeah, he was just awesome.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that one. That was really hammered through it off.
Viv, everyone knows he hits the ball pretty hard, and as a cricketer, I had reasonably slow reflexes, and I felt reasonably intimidated bowling to Viv and reasonably scared bowling to Viv because he used to whack them back at you about head high and they're going like a traceable, and I couldn't see them. And you almost contemplate bowling in a helmet, or alternatively bowling and then just sort of running to extra cover to get out of the way. But I think there was one occasion there that he nearly took my head off.
Viv's after him. That's a magnificent shot. That actually did dip away a little bit in the air. Richards down the wicket, and what an aggressive shot this is.
I remember vividly Tim May's eyeballs in the Perth Test when Viv smashed one back at him and just sort of parted his hair. Maisie's eyeballs were just wide as golf balls, and I remember that night after Viv had decimated us, Tony Dottermaid, myself, who'd had an average innings with the gloves, and Tim May were walking through Kings Park back to the hotel. This is our last test. We all thought this is our last test. So they are the memories that I've had of Viv, and it was at the end of his career, one of his last tours. So to me, he must have been right up with their best.
No miss, hits go over the fence. He's gone again. This is down as a man down there. It's Kim Hughes. He's backing back to the fence. He's caught it. Fine catch. And that's the end of a great innings. A fine catch to dismiss the great Vivian Richards. The fence was there. Kim Hughes kept his cool. And the great batsman departs to a standing ovation. The members standing, the outer standing, all the commentators giving Viv Richards a generous round of applause. A superb innings.